Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you.
My name is James Dart. This is the Star Trek motion picture dry dock with the USS Enterprise that's going to be in it, of course. I've been working on it for about since January, so it's been a long build. Very detailed as much as I could try to get it, of course. But yeah,
Which part of the build did you start with? Did you start with the dock or the?
started with the centerpiece because I wanted to light up.
Okay.
So then I started from the center and then worked my way out. So there's 15 or 18 of these, and they're just different sizes and so on and so forth.
And how did you incorporate that great lighting inside there?
Well, it's a 6-foot micro Christmas lights. So it's on these little packs. And then it took me about 90 minutes to wire each one. So, and then you can do, we can do fun things with them too. Light them up, different colors.
Yeah, that's super fun. And then what's the kind of like structures around those core kind of lighted elements there? You got some sort of greebling and Technic elements?
Right. So when you're looking at the picture from the movie and stuff, they have their canisters and tubes and all the other stuff. So I was trying to geeble it as much as I could so that, technical, ability, space, so on and so forth.
And then we've got obviously the USS Enterprise itself out here, so that's not easy to achieve with Lego as you look at some of the shapes here. So what was your design process on that?
Okay, so that one's a totally different thing. That one I spent 6 months writing out beforehand. It's actually to scale to 1/333. So I went through an awful lot of work to make sure that it's the right scale. And then I spent another 6 months building it. And probably I rebuilt it 15, 20 times because, every time you build something with Lego, you get to that point of saying, that's close, but not quite. So you tear it apart and rebuild it. So there's another update coming soon. I just don't know when.
And what pieces did you find kind of work well to get this big round shape here? How did you end up achieving that?
Believe it or not, it started with the Millennium Falcon. Okay. So I saw that the Millennium Falcon had that round shape. It's still kind of blocky, but it had a start of. So I took it, and of course, it's way too large. So I squished it down and tried to find different ways. And now it's just by clips. And again, it's going to be updated yet again because this was finished in 2018. And there's been many, many, many new parts since then. So I'm like, I can round it out even more.
And structurally, how is the kind of back section there? You get those angles. Does that stay together pretty well?
Yes and no. It will stay together, but it's one of those builds that if you let it sit out for too long, it'll start to stress the joints and they'll literally fall off. But they're click joints that are holding on the parts on the inside. I can show you if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. Absolutely.
So if I can get in there, sorry. Okay, I guess you can't really see them, I apologize, but right along in here are 4 click joints, and then using this piece here holds in the pressure so that it keeps that angle. So I believe it's at 45 degrees. But
and then I like how you kind of made the overhang section, so it creates a really nice immersive scene. How did you get this top section kind of to stick out like this and not just fall down?
Well, as you can tell, I have water weights on the back, but mainly what I did is that there's reinforcement structures on the inside on the top, and just a lot. Each one of these is a section, so there are 5 different sections, and they're all click together, and they pop out over time, of course, because of stress. The table's not flat, so it has a little bit of bow, and there's like, oh no, but it still works out. So yeah, the tops are, I tried to reduce the weight as much as possible because it's still, if you really wanted to, you could tip it over, but there's I'm trying to use a counterweight so we get the whole back and forth. Definitely.
Yeah. And it looks really fantastic. So what was your research like on this as you were looking at like the movie? How did that work?
To be quite honest, it's one of the things that I've been wanting to build for a long time. I built one maybe 6-7 years ago, and it was awful. And I was like, I can do better. And it was one of the things I spent a lot of research trying to find dry dock. What was the dry dock from the movie? I fell upon a site that actually had the pre-production pictures of the dry dock. I was like, all right. So Then it was like, okay, how do I match the color? I can't match the color. It's like a rust color, and Lego doesn't really have a rust color, so I'll just do gray. And then it's just from that point trying to make it as close as possible.
Well, excellent work here. I'm so glad you were able to bring this out to the show, and can't wait to see you continue to add more detail and rebuild some of this, like you said, and update it. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.